Welcome back to A Game of Fangs and Thrones. My name's Hannah. Please excuse the fact that I'm missing a nail. I need to fix that. And let's dive right into the video. So today's video is, as you can tell, a Game of TBR style video, a TBR video. I still have some Book-Up-a-thon books to read, so we'll be adding those into this as well if we can. If not, I'll just go back on the pile. What else? Oh yeah, in terms of books, I kind of have to read, well, I don't have to read, but for read-a-thon, read-along books this month, the lovely Amy at Books with Amy and Jen, whose name I have forgotten, but I will link both channels down below. They are doing a Suki Stackhouse read-along, and I've read up to book 10, Dead in the Family, so now I can finally join in with their read-a-thon without rereading books. But I do need to buy, and this nail's going to come off soon as well. But anyway, well, that means I do need to buy the next book, but I'll just get that on Kindle, so then it doesn't count for the read 9 buy 1 challenge I'm running. And it's Kindle, so I don't need, and it's Kindle, so it might be cheaper, and the rest of the series is on Kindle. So, but new rules for new version of Game of TBR. Yes, I have revamped it again, but I will continue to do that until I find a format that I'm happy with. And what is going on with this nail? It just doesn't feel right at all. But anywho, so we have 2 dice and 2 TBR pots. This one is prompts, this one is books. Basically, all I'm going to do is roll these 2 dice. One will correspond to the book jar, where I pick out the name of a book, and the other will correspond to, this nail is going to come off in a minute, that nail's just come off, but so as I was saying, yeah, so 2 dice, the dice control the number of books / prompts, so we'll just dive right in, I think. Okay, so so it's a 12. Great. So it doesn't matter which one I pick for which box, because they're both the same. So we will just do the books first. Give it a good shake-a-roo. If anybody wants to see, look, proof. It fell down like that. So, first book is Goddess of Love by PC Cast. Goddess of Love by PC Cast. I'm calling her P-E-A. Chamberlain needs help. Her shoes, hair, clothes, makeup are all disasters, and she really needs a makeover. Why? Especially if she wants to attract sexy fireman Griffin D'Angelo at the Fireman's Mass Ball. And who better to coax P out of her pod than the Goddess of Love, whom she invokes when she gets her hands on a book of enchantments. Sure enough, Venus works her magic on P, which is what she has been doing for eons, helping others find love. But who will help the Goddess of Love when she finds herself falling head over heels for the same sexy fireman she is trying to land for P? Could it be that Venus needs a love makeover herself? I mean, I like these. They are quite feminist, but why? Since when does a woman need a makeover to attract a man? But anyway. Next book, I should say, sorry, is Dark Age by P.S. Brown. Dark Age by P.S. Brown. Can't talk too much about this because it is the 5th in the series This originally started with Darrow and Red Rising. Darrow is a red, the lowest of the low, been told for millennia, but the Reds have been told for millennia that they are terraforming Mars for human life. Turns out they've been lied to. This is the fallout of that, although this does follow different stories, different characters now, but again, can't really talk too much about it, with it being the 4th or 5th in a series. I'm trying to find where I put the other ones, but they're not easily coming to hand, so I can't check. But I think this is the 4th or the 5th. 5th, that was right. So, book 3. Please be nice. Oh, it's a small one. The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. When Rosemary Harper joins the crew of the Wayfarer, she isn't expecting much. The Wayfarer, a patched-up ship that's seen better days, offers her everything she could possibly want. A small, quiet spot to call home for a while, adventure in far-off corners of the galaxy, and distance from her troubled past. But Rosemary gets more than she bargained for with the Wayfarer. The crew was a mismatch of species and personalities, from Sussex, the friendly reptilian pilot, to Kizzy and Jenks, the constantly sparring engineers who keep the ship running. Life on board is chaotic, but more or less peaceful, exactly what Rosemary wants. Until the crew are offered the job of a lifetime, the chance to build a hyperspace tunnel to a distant planet. They'll earn enough money to live comfortably for years, if they survive the long trip through war-torn space without endangering any of the fragile alliances that keep the galaxy peaceful. But Rosemary isn't the only person on board with secrets to hide, and the crew will soon discover that space may be vast, but spaceships are very small indeed. So, book number 4. Are we on 4 or 5? Well, 4 is The Lights of Prague by Nicole Jarvis. The Lights of Prague by Nicole Jarvis. In the streets of Prague, all manner of mysterious creatures lurk in the shadows. Unbeknownst to its citizens, their only hope against the tide of predators are the dauntless lamplighters. Secret elite monster hunters whose light staves off the darkness each day. Domek Miska leads a life teeming with fraught encounters with the worst kind of all evils. Pihavis, bloodthirsty and soulless vampiric creatures. Despite this, Domek finds solace in his moments spent in the company of his friend, the clever and beautiful Lady Aura Ficharova, a widow with secrets of her own. When Domek finds himself stalked by the spirit of the White Lady, a ghost who haunts the baroque halls of Prague Castle, he stumbles across the sentient essence of a will-o'-the-wisp, captured in a mysterious container. Now, as its bearer, Domek wields its power, but the wisp, known for leading travellers to their deaths, will not be so easily controlled. After discovering a conspiracy amongst the Pihavish, I've got to find out how to say that could see them unleash terror on the daylight world, Domek finds himself in a race against those who aim to twist alchemical science for their own dangerous gain. Number 5. Pandora by Susan Stokes Chapman. Pandora by Susan Stokes Chapman. London, 1799. Dora Blake is an aspiring jewellery artist who lives with her uncle in what used to be her parents' famed shop of antiquities. When a mysterious Greek vase is delivered, Dora is intrigued by her uncle's suspicious behaviour and enlists the help of Edward Lawrence, a young antiquarian scholar. Edward sees the ancient vase as key to unlocking his academic future. Dora sees it as a chance to restore the shop to its former glory and to escape her nefarious uncle. But what Edward discovers about the vase has Dora questioning everything she has believed about her life, her family, and the world as she knows it. As Dora uncovers the truth, she starts to realise that some mysteries are buried and some doors are locked for a reason. Last one of this jar. The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson. The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson. In the lands of Bethel, where the prophet's word is law, Emmanuel Moa's very existence is blasphemy. Her mother's union with an outsider of a different race cast her once proud family into disgrace. So Emmanuel does her best to worship the Father, follow holy protocol, and lead a life of submission, devotion, and absolute conformity like all the other women in the settlement. But a mishap lures her into the forbidden dark wood surrounding Bethel, where the first prophet once chased and killed 4 powerful witches. Their spirits are still lurking there, and they bestow a gift on Emmanuel, the journal of her dead mother, who Emmanuel is shocked to learn once sought sanctuary in the wood. Why have I got song from Into the Woods in my head now? Anyway, fascinated by the secrets in the diary, Emmanuel finds herself struggling to understand how her mother could have consorted with the witches. But when she begins to learn the grim truths about the church and its history, she realises the true threat to Bethel is its own darkness. And she starts to understand that if Bethel is to change, it must begin with her. If anybody has any ideas for prompts, please comment down below, because I'm running short. I want a bit more in this jar, so I'm not picking out repeats every month. So first prompt, read a book club book. For read a book, I went for Blood Scion. I can never say it. Scion, by Deborah Fillet. This is from Fairy Loot. I am a descendant of Shango, the god of heat and fire. I am a living inferno. I am a dead girl walking. 15-year-old Sloane can incinerate an enemy at will. She is a scion, a descendant of the ancient Orisha gods, but under the brutal rule of the Lucius, her identity means her death. Her mother knew as much. She disappeared trying to hide Sloane's truth. Sloane, too, has hidden her abilities, but on her 15th birthday she is conscripted into the Lucius army. Once taken, Sloane must not only conceal her power, but overcome the bloody challenges of the Lucius training. But if she can infiltrate the Lucius, she could destroy her enemies. The people who think of her as less than human, the overlords responsible for her mother's disappearance. Sloane rises through the ranks and gains strength, but in doing so, risks something greater, losing herself entirely and becoming the very monster she abhors. Oh, pretty cover. It's just but it's so pretty. Anywho. Prompt number 2. Read a book with Earth in the title, or Earth or planets on the cover. The Upper World by Femi Fadugba is going to be my prompt for read a book with Earth in the title, Earth or planet on the cover. Now hear me out. This says world. What else do we call the Earth? The world. It's a stretch. I'm taking it. But if you had the chance to change your future, would you take it? Esso is a teenager running out of time and into trouble. When he discovers he has the ability to see glimpses of the future, he has become haunted by the vision of a bullet, fired in an alleyway with devastating consequences. A generation later, 15-year-old Aria is desperately searching for answers. A catastrophic moment from the past holds the key to understanding the parents she never got to meet. When Esso and Ria's fates collide, a race against the clock becomes a race against time itself. Read a book written by a POC author. Read a book written by a POC author. I went for Girl, Woman, Other by Bernardine Evaristo. This is Britain as you've never read it. This is Britain as it has never been told. From the top of the country to the bottom, across more than a century of change and growth and struggle and life, Girl, Woman, Other follows 12 very different characters on an entwined journey of discovery. It is future. It is past. It is fiction. It is history. It is a novel about who we are now. And this has French flaps. There. Read the start of a new series. And we have read the start of a new series, which is the prompt I didn't want right now, but we've gone for A Natural History of Dragons, a memoir by Lady Trent, by Marie Brennan. I have to admit. Do we need any more reason why I wanted to start this? Giving you a big hint here. But anyway, from Scareland to the farthest reaches of Euriga, Lady Trent is known to be the world's preeminent dragon naturalist, who brought the study of dragons into the clear light of modern science. But before she became the illustrious figure we now know, there was a bookish young woman whose passion for learning defied the stifling conventions of her day. Here at last, in her own words, is the true story of a pioneering spirit who risked her reputation, her prospects, and her fragile flesh to satisfy her scientific curiosity, of how she sought true love and happiness despite her lamentable eccentricities, and of her thrilling expedition to the perilous mountains of Vistrana, where she made the first of many historic discoveries that would change the world forever. I don't know why I'm talking like that, but Number 5, Return of the YA Snake. Read a book with the snake on the title or in the cover. This one is for The Return of the YA Snake. I'll admit I struggled with this one. Look, there's the snake. This is Beasts of Prey by Ayana Gray. Lacossa was once a city of magic. Now magic is nothing more than a myth. Coffee is a beastkeeper at Lacossa's infamous night zoo, caring for fearsome creatures to pay off her family's debts, until she mistakenly unleashes a wild and mysterious power that sends the night zoo up in flames. Ekon is destined to become an elite warrior like his father and brother before him, until the fire at the night zoo throws his destiny into disaster, and he is cast out forever. Thrown together, Coffee and Ekon have only one choice. They must enter the terrifying Greater Jungle and capture the Shatani, the legendary monster that has plagued Lacossa for a century. Magic has returned to Lacossa, and the hunt has begun. Read a purple book. As you can tell, purple is my favourite colour. So next book is a purple book, as you can see by the fact that this is just all purple. This is Night Study by Maria V. Schneider. I can't talk too much about this one because it is the 7th in the Chronicles of Ixia series, starting with Poison Study, or Poison Study, which follows Yelena Zaltana, who is a prisoner. She is given the chance of freedom in the sense that she trades one prison for becoming the commander's food taster. They ensure the captain of the guard, whose name is not on here and I have forgot, the captain of the guard ensures her loyalty by giving her a poison that only he has the antidote for, and it is only a temporary antidote. But however, sparks fly, as they do, and Yelena discovers that everything is not as it seems in Ixia. There is a spin-off trilogy which is also known as the Glass Trilogy. Which follows a character from the study series, and I think Yelena has a cameo appearance in it. And that, friends, is my evil TBR for evil TBR for October. Let's see if I can stand them all up to get a screenshot. Bear in mind, this doesn't include the next Suki Stackhouse book, which I might read, I might not. It depends on when the live show is. Haha! Did it! Put those down. But I think that brings us to the end of the video. Give it a like if you liked it. Wait, hang on. Tell me in the comments down below what you would have picked for the prompts. Obviously, the named books don't matter. But let me know if you've read the books that are on this TBR. And let me know what you're going to be reading. Let me know if you've got any books that would have fit the prompts better. And if you have any prompts, please pop them in a comment down below. I'm always willing to add to that jar. And with that, that's the end of the video. So hit that like button if you liked it, and hit that subscribe button if you want to see this, talk about these, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.